In this video, I'm going to teach you how to answer Part 2 questions in IELTS Speaking. In the previous video, we started to learn how to answer Part 2 questions regarding the places. Today, I'll give you more examples and tips for a higher score. Here is a question about a street that you know well. In my notes, I have written the things that I'm going to use in my description. The name of the street, the location, the establishments, and the reason I go there have been written too. As you can see, the notes are very short because the idea is to refine the key components of the response. Let's read the sample response and analyze it together. Well, I guess I could kick off by stating the name of the street, and I'd like to go for Taksim Square, which is so fascinating that I cannot take my eyes off when I visit there. Actually, it is located in Istanbul, which is home to a considerable percentage of fascinating tourist attractions. Going on to my next point regarding the types of establishments there, I should say that Taksim Square has many exquisite boutiques, bars, nightclubs, and movie theaters. Therefore, it's always congested with the young, almost round the clock. This square is also the meeting place to celebrate New Year's Eve, parades, public concerts, and other shows. As a final point, I'd like to add that I enjoy visiting this street due to its lively and historical atmosphere, although I go there once in a blue moon. When I'm there, I feel fresh and less stressed, especially after my busy days preparing for exams. At the end of the day, I can refresh my mind and be ready for a new day. The first paragraph answers the first prompt. Adjective clauses have been used for giving more details regarding the locations. The second paragraph talks about the establishments in that street and then says that the street is always crowded thanks to those establishments. The third paragraph is about the reason I visit there and the frequency of my visit, and how I feel when I go there. The last part hasn't been asked, however, it is not off the topic and just gives more details. The last prompt hasn't been answered. It's okay if you don't know what to say about a particular prompt. You can add your own prompts as much as you are on the topic and you talk about a street. The previous response can be adapted for a question about a street you enjoyed visiting. The only difference would be adding some details using past tenses. Look at the last paragraph here. As a final point, I'd like to add that I enjoyed visiting this street due to its lively and historical atmosphere. When I was there, I felt fresh and less stressed, especially after my busy day preparing for my exam. At the end of the day, I could refresh my mind and be ready for a new day. It's worth mentioning that a single response can be adapted for use in responding to different questions. Your response about a street, a building, or a tourist attraction can be used in a part of your response when you are asked to describe a city. Here is my response to a topic about a city I have visited and liked. Well, I guess I could kick off by stating the name of the city, and I'd like to go for Istanbul, which is so fascinating that I couldn't take my eyes off when I visited there last spring. Actually, it is located in the northwest Turkey and is home to a considerable percentage of fascinating tourist attractions. Going on to my next point regarding why I fell in love with Istanbul, I should say that it offers a wealth of historic and religious places to take in. Topkapı Palace, the House of Ottoman Sultans, and Taksim Street, the heaven of exquisite boutiques, bars, vibrant nightclubs, and movie theaters are only two of these ancient places. Additionally, I enjoyed different cuisines, varying from authentic Ottoman food to the modern kitchen of the West. As a final point, I'd like to add that I enjoyed visiting this city due to its lively and historical atmosphere, and if I clinch the opportunity in the future, I'd like to visit over there again and again. The easiest way to describe a hotel is to talk about its location in the city, give some details about its regular room and its foods. Here is a sample response. Describe a special hotel you stayed in. Well, I guess I could kick off by stating the name of the hotel, and I'd like to go for Marmara Taksim, which is a luxury hotel I stayed in with my family during my visit to Istanbul. Actually, it is located at a 5-minute distance from Taksim Square, which is the heaven of exquisite boutiques, bars, vibrant nightclubs, and movie theaters. Going on to my next point regarding what it's like, I should say that it's a luxury hotel of coach family, and it has luxury rooms with contemporary and fine dark wood details which were artfully juxtaposed against the locally printed images of Ottoman sultans on the walls. The rooms also include ample seating areas to enjoy the 32 inches LCD flat panel televisions attached with DVD players along with a fully stocked minibar and a coffee pot. As a final point, I'd like to add that although it cost us an arm and a leg, it was all worth it as it served us many different cuisines varying from authentic Ottoman food to the modern kitchen of the West. It also provided us with the complimentary transportation to visit the adjacent areas. You can see that I have used some parts of the previous cue cards in my response regarding a hotel. Talking about the sea or river is not as difficult as it is told. You can talk about its location, the reason people go there, or the reason you have visited it if you have been asked so, and if you recommend it or not and why. Let's take a look at the sample response. Well, I guess I could kick off by stating the name of the place that is preferred for swimming, and I'd like to go for Sadaf Island, one of the Princess Islands in the Sea of Marmara near Istanbul. Actually, it is one of the most overlooked beaches because it can only be reached by first taking the ferry to Büyükada and then taking another to reach Sadaf. Going on to my next point regarding why people go there for swimming, I should say that it has beautiful nature and the water is crystal clear. Furthermore, the minerals in the water help improve different types of skin problems like acne and other health conditions like arthritis and asthma. These minerals are believed to help improve blood circulation, smooth out wrinkles, and give a healthy glow to the skin. As a final point, I'd like to add that although Sadaf Island is a private property and even a one-day trip costs an arm and a leg, it is all worth it because of the decent restaurants and clubs around that helps people relax and feel comfortable. The location, interior design, the kinds of the food served, the reason you prefer the restaurant can be used in your description regarding a restaurant you have been asked to talk about. Here is my sample answer. Well, I guess I could kick off by stating the name of the restaurant, and I'd like to go for 16 Roof, which is so fascinating that you cannot take your eyes off when you go there. Actually, it is located atop the Söğüt Hotel and boasts stunning views of the Bosphorus. Going on to my next point regarding the kinds of the food that is served, I should say that the chef produces contemporary world cuisine with unique flavors as well as desserts, from refreshing lemongrass and ginger sorbet to mouth-watering caramelized banana and cinnamon tart with caramel ice cream. What I think should be added here is that the interior is modern and minimalist, with soft blue tones that reflect the hues of the river itself. As a final point, I'd like to say that the weekly music concert and discount for regular customers are two reasons I prefer it more than other restaurants. I was very surprised to get as high as 30 to 35% discount on a few occasions, and they told me that this was their way of rewarding loyal customers. If you are asked to describe a country, you can talk about its location, give some details about the country such as its language, its famous souvenir, or famous attractions. Let's read the sample response together. Well, I guess I could kick off by stating the name of the country, and I'd like to go for Switzerland, which is unquestionably one of the most beautiful countries on the planet. Actually, it is located in Central Europe and encompasses a great diversity of landscapes and climates in a limited area. Going on to my next point regarding what I know about this country, I should say that Switzerland is a popular tourist destination known for its picturesque landscapes and is one of the world's wealthiest countries. In addition, there is not a single official language in Switzerland. People speak one of the several languages, including Swiss, German, French, and Italian. As a final point, I'd like to say that visiting Switzerland, I suppose, would be a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me. It will provide fascinating and thrilling adventures, while also allowing me to realize my dreams, and I have also learned and heard a lot about incomparable Swiss timepieces and Swiss people's punctuality, which I'd like to see for myself. The sample response here is about Switzerland. However, the most part can be true for many countries. The factual accuracy of your responses is not going to be checked or marked. Focus on using the language. When the test takers are asked about their dream house, they think that they must talk about the luxurious and the most beautiful house in the world. Don't forget, you can talk about your childhood house as your dream house, for example, or even a small, simple house can be described as your dream home too. Here is an example. Well, I guess I could kick off by stating the location of my dream house, and I'd like to live in a two-story house in the middle of my farm surrounded by trees and agricultural land. Actually, I grew up in a farmhouse and it instilled in me an appreciation for nature which I continue to have to this day. Going on to my next point regarding what it would look like, I should say that my house would have 5 bedrooms, a bright living room, and a spacious modern-style kitchen. In the backyard, I would like to plant flowers and have a waterfall or a stream that flows into the pond. I would also like to plant seasonal vegetables and host my own mini poultry farm. As a final point, I'd like to say that my dream house would be in the heart of the nature I grew up in, because it ensures a peaceful life far from the hustle and bustle of city life. Students usually prefer to talk about their own room when they are asked about their favorite room. However, in my idea, it is easier to talk about your kitchen as your favorite room, as it gives you more opportunity to use a range of vocabulary in your response. Here is a sample response to a cue card regarding favorite room. Well, I guess I could kick off by stating the name of my favorite room, and I'd like to go for the kitchen that has been the heart of our home since we moved in 2010. Actually, it is not only where we cook, but also the main meeting place for family and friends. Going on to my next point regarding the furniture it contains, I should say that it features many cupboards and plenty of counter space. There are many kitchen utensils, a chopping board, peeler, sieve, grater, as well as a fridge, an electric oven, and a washing machine. There is also this large dining table in the center which serves a dual purpose. We use it as a cupboard and a table to eat at. As a final point, I'd like to say that I love this part of our home and feel really at home when I'm there. Its ambience is bright and so inviting. This is due to the presence of 2 huge windows which provide adequate daylight and gives us a panoramic view of the entire city. Talking about the library can be a bit tough for the test takers too. To describe a library, you can talk about the location, the facilities, and the atmosphere. Let's read the sample response. Well, I guess I could kick off by stating the name of the library, and I'd like to go for National Library of Turkey, which is located in Ankara. Actually, it has a diverse collection of materials dating from the early Ottoman Empire to the present and is literally the cultural memory of Turkey. Going on to my next point regarding what facilities it had, I should say that it provided office equipment such as a good copy machine, a bookbinder, many computers and printers, and much more. Additionally, if you need a book in another library, it will obtain that book for you by either shipping it from the other library or purchasing the book. As a final point, I'd like to say that what caught my eyes when I went there was a well-lit reading corner which was specifically designed for the readers so that they don't squint at the tiny prints of the book. The tranquility of the library will attract you to go for more books. From my personal experience, this is one of the most iconic libraries I've ever visited. Thanks for watching. In the next video, I'm going to teach you how to approach speaking part 2 key cards regarding people. See you soon.